Me personally, bro, I love making people laugh. I love entertaining people, regardless if I'm not being funny or not. You know, even if I'm acting in a serious role or, you know what I mean, doing, as long as I'm entertaining you, bro, putting a smile on your face or making you feel some type of emotion or, you know what I mean, making you go through something that I already went through, and it's like, oh, man, I ain't never, I remember that, you know what I mean?
Guys, welcome to the Hustle Up podcast. So a little background on us. We are dedicated toward the young hustlers, the young entrepreneurs, the guys who are out there grinding to create a life by design instead of living life on default. So every day you wake up, you make money with your best friends, like you're pushing towards something that you want in particular. Background on you guys, Ronndell and Jeremy. Jeremy?
Yes.
Yeah, run Georgia followers.
Yeah.
The Georgia
Shout out.
followers.
Want it.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
Legends.
I remember I started following you guys back at Georgia State 6 or 7 years ago, like a while back. And I watched it grow from, here's a few thousand followers and info on events, concerts, what's going on campuses, who's visiting Georgia.
Real quick. If you're watching, subscribe, like, hit the bell.
Smash the bell button.
We're still getting new at this. Got to
Guys,
remember to do everything.
If you get any value from these podcasts whatsoever, tell a friend, share it, put it out on Facebook. We have clips. We're trying to grow just like these guys. And that's how we're going to do it. So please do share this with somebody. Put it on social. Help us out.
Tell your mama. No, but Georgia followers, legends.
Yeah. Been getting after it.
Yeah.
How did you get started? What was the motivation, specifically for your idea?
I'm going to let Jeremy take this one.
Oh, yeah. So probably around 2011, I was making music and I was rapping. And I was going to a school called the Art Institute of Washington. And while I was going there, I wanted to be, a prominent rapper. Mm-hmm. So I was like, hey, why don't I create a Twitter page and like talk about things that are happening locally, and then when I create that page, I can promote my music at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I first created DMV Followers, which stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia. And started doing it there, and I started getting some traction. People started following us, but they were paying more attention to the news, sports, and events versus my music.
Yeah.
Not to say my music was bad. But
Yeah.
It just I guess people just really like that type of information. So I saw that, and I was like, hey, why don't I create one in Atlanta, because I have roots here too. And I did that.
You're from Atlanta?
Well, I was born in Alabama, but my dad was in the military, so I moved all around.
How long have you been here?
I've been here probably like 7 years, and then I went to middle school and high school here too.
Cool.
And you, Rondo?
Yeah, I've been here since I was like 5.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm from Virginia.
So
man.
we always get in an argument because he says he's from Virginia.
I'm from Virginia.
What?
I was born in Virginia, and then I moved here when I was like 5.
But being from, does that mean you have to be born, or is it where you live the majority of your life, or you have the most life experience?
I got
life experience in both states.
How much life experience do you get from 0 to 5?
Remember?
I'm
4 or 5 years old.
No, you can remember my life from 4 to 5. But you got to look at it like this. I used to jump back and forth in the summertime. I used to go to Virginia and spend the whole summer. So I know living in Virginia, I used to stay there for summers on end. Man, I'm not about to let him tell you I'm not from Virginia, man. Fuck him, dog.
So I always struggle with because I spent most of my time here in Atlanta and in DC. I was born in Alabama, so I always it's a toss up where I'm from.
Pick one.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
So how did you know early on, because having that foresight to see something that works and something that doesn't work is very important, especially in something as saturated as putting out music. Yeah. How did you identify early on that if you built a hub of something that aggregates news, as opposed to just texting all your friends, hey, go listen to my song, go listen to my project, whatever, you're creating an aggregate of news as opposed to a call to action for your music. What led you to seeing that right off rip?
I think it was just time, really. I think I was just doing it consistently. I was doing it both simultaneously for a minute, and then after a while I started seeing okay, it's harder to promote my music versus the news that we're talking about. That stuff is going viral. This stuff is getting clicks here and there. So I guess it was just time. After a while I was like, all right, I just need to put more effort into focusing on what's actually working. And that's that. And rapping wasn't making any money rapping either.
Yeah.
So,
Do you still make music?
I write all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would love to get back in the studio. I just never have the time.
Can we get a freestyle sesh by the end of this?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, we could
Hey, look,
Bluetooth the
If y'all
beat
got
on
a
there.
beat,
We
y'all
can-
can put a beat
we
in it right
we
now.
literally rap all the time.
Yeah.
Well, let's pull up a beat.
We-
my phone's.
Yeah, we'll have to after we cancel.
Okay,
that,
yeah. All right. Well,
Hey,
okay.
special cut, audio only. Check out a freestyle at the end of the show.
Say less.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Um,
We're definitely doing that.
So DMV. So are you in
Yes.
Ronndell? Are you in the picture with DMV?
Nah. That's just him and his man Matt.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I'm
So
down
yeah,
with that.
I had a partner in DC that lived on my block. Not my block, but like in my neighborhood.
They try to
Gotta
sound
sound
street
tough.
real quick. Little mama block.
Yeah. But yeah, I started with him because he lived next door to me.
Yeah.
And then when I started GA Falls, I had a partner down here. Was best friends with. His name is Josh, and I started with him in Atlanta. So, but I was the piece in both situations.
So how are you finding info on these sports and events? Obviously, you probably follow some sports, but what are you researching just to put out this stuff?
Oh, back in the nowadays, everything's just kind of coming to us.
Yeah.
Like people send us stuff, but back then I would read like AJC.
Yeah, just read the news.
Yeah, just read the news.
Pick and
just
pull what people want to hear.
Yeah, but then what was different about us in the news was that we would just be speaking from our own voice. Like I didn't know how to speak like the news. I would just say, "Hey, there's some shit going on up here." And then I saw people were attracted to that.
We had the owners of Cloud9, or one of them, Ben Amore, come on. And the big takeaway from that podcast was the riches are in the niches. So they already got the news. They already got the AJC, right? You're putting a message out for your type of followers, your specific demographic. Who does follow you? Do you know?
What you mean?
Like our
young
demographic.
men, 18 to 25,
yeah.
men
Like
and
what?
women.
Young people
Yeah,
mostly.
Yeah, it's probably I would say 18 through 34. You know,
When
all
you were getting-
races.
Yeah, when you were getting started, it was probably mostly college students. Is that accurate?
for sure. Yeah, for sure. It was really, to be honest with you, it was just black people. Really.
Yeah.
Black people that are our age.
But that's where the culture starts
Yeah.
in college in particular, and not necessarily with black people or any race, but culture starts in college. You're plugged into the center of the matrix, and everything's coming. It's feeding up from high school, but it's coming from college.
For sure.
And
I agree with that.
even to the black thing, you guys, I was reading an article, I think it was on you on the AJC about, and it asked you about Black Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, and that was interesting because that and that's kind of, it ties back into what you guys were saying on Georgia Followers, is we're gonna bring you information not from up above, but from from people who were in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so that's what it's about. It's about being and that's what I think they label it, a tastemaker these days, or like a curator, someone who,
Influencer.
someone who knows how to aggregate the right material in a way that's not culture vulture type.
Right.
And so it's I thought that was very interesting, and I was on a panel for tech and culture once, and that was something that came up, was Black Twitter, and Twitter really took off because of that. And for anyone who doesn't know what that means, can you break it down?
Black Twitter is dope.
Yeah, I mean it's a very real thing.
It's one of those things that, I mean, people always try to make jokes about it, but Black Twitter can make something go viral. And Black Twitter can make
controls
something cool.
the world.
Black Twitter does control any. I mean, essentially, it controls a lot of the people that a lot of these memes are controlled by Black Twitter. A lot of the Scoopanty or whatever's going on right now. I don't know if y'all are looking at that stuff on Twitter right now, but the Scoopantu or whatever.
The
Black
scope.
Black Twitter.
What is this?
Black Twitter started that. It's some Jamaican word, but it's essentially
mean what do you think about this?
Yeah. So, but Black Twitter started that. You know what I mean? A chick from for the Popeye. This is a great example. The Popeye chicken sandwich. A chick that worked for a black girl that worked for a marketing company. Tweeted that out, and it went viral after that. And now, granted, the Popeye chicken sandwich was out 4 months before it went viral, but.
Black Twitter made it hot.
Black Twitter made it hot.
So to answer this question, do you think that what is the definition of Black Twitter?
Oh yeah, I did not give it. I don't have a definition
I'm
for
trying
Black
to think about. Well, I just know it's a group. It's a group of people. I feel like Black people use Twitter more than I think it's interesting. I think races use social media in different ways.
For sure.
And I think
do you think that's a racial thing though, or do you think that that's
it's a cultural thing?
For sure.
Cultural thing.
I wouldn't say racial. Yeah, it's more so of a cultural thing. And I think Black people use Twitter to be like everything's a joke.
Everything is funny.
But I feel like, and so do all other races too. But then there's also a crowd on Twitter that just uses it for news and joining a conversation, whether it's Donald Trump or whatever it might be. So, but yeah, Black Twitter, I think, is a group of people who kind of, make a lot of jokes on there and stuff gets trending, and it kind of creates a culture online.
Yeah,
but there is no definition for it though. That's the crazy part.
I mean, I'm sure that. I
mean,
I don't know.
If we were to look up Black Twitter, I don't know what will pop up. I think everything what we just said will probably pop up though.
Memes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but I think it's interesting of like, I guess the idea I'm trying to take from this is it's interesting of aggregating media from your perspective, and from something that's not, coming in and saying let's report it, but coming out and saying this is what we are.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting because that's what I was reading in that article about how you guys position Georgia followers.
Right. Yeah. And I would say largely to just like that culture at first, where it was just like making jokes about things that were happening locally, and things kind of took off to the point where we had to kind of change the responsibility to talk about more broader things, and I don't know, and we're here today. Talking about it all.
And you guys really did it as positioning yourselves of those people of information in Atlanta. And I think that's where, what Clint was saying at the beginning, when we first heard about you guys, it must have been, I don't know, 2014, 2015. Does that sound about right? Like
2011.
As far back as I can remember. Yeah.
That's probably right.
And that really shows the impact of the information that you guys were aggregating that you thought was important, and how it pushed through different dimensions to your people in the city, your people in the suburbs. Yeah. And I even know some people way out there in Paulding County, or from North Georgia, that everybody knows this. You guys really transcended cultures, races, everything with the information you were getting.
I appreciate you noticing that.
Yeah.
We be trying,
man,
but
it's amazing.
But you always got those people that just don't like what we post. Oh, y'all probably shouldn't have posted that. And they've been following us for so long, and we posted these type of things, and we drop a bomb on them, and we go all the way left field, and it's like, y'all should never post about that. Like, we did a video about guns recently. He didn't see none of this. I saw a lot of the comments, but people were saying, man, because a lot of people don't fuck with guns.
What was the context of the video? What was the situation?
We just wanted to, he wanted to, I've pretty much never really shot gun before.
Ever?
Yeah, not really, bro.
Was pretty much
like I've only shot a gun like twice. I was never a fan of guns.
Okay, yeah.
Until this though.
Until this.
Like, I'm still not like a full fan of guns, but until because we just wanted to see what it's like. What's the breakdown of a gun? Why do people don't like guns so much?
Is this so? Was this something that you went out and shot guns and got the feel, or a video y'all made, or what's the background?
So
essentially, we made an IGTV video that we visited a gun range, and basically the whole meaning for the video was to say, hey, like, I just want to be more comfortable with guns. Yeah. Like, I've seen them. I always, guns are everywhere, but I actually got to go in there with an instructor, and he kind of like broke it down, like the safety rules, and
you got some gun education, some firearm education.
Exactly.
So are we? And you don't have to air this, but are you pro Second Amendment? Are you pro guns? He says. Sounded like he was getting closer toward it.
Yeah, man. I mean,
with straps, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with the guns now. It's like you said, man. It's all about security. Like, you know what I mean. When you think of a gun, the first thing you think of is killing somebody, or death, or mass shootings, or this, that, and the third. You know what I mean. You don't think of gun safety. You don't think of somebody just having a gun just to protect their family, or things of that nature. You don't think of that, and that's I wasn't thinking that until I walked in here, and the dude was showing us how to do this, or take the clip out, or you know what I'm saying. Never point the gun this way. You know what I'm saying. If you don't want to if you don't want to use the gun, don't point the gun. You know what I mean? It was just things like that. I was like, all right, bro. Guns are probably not as bad as folks think they are. You know what I'm saying?
You get put in a compromising situation. You'd
rather
have it
than not have it.
Than need it and not have it.
You feel me?
So that's how I feel, man. I'm at the point now, like, I'm older. I'm about to be 30, so it's like, everybody has them. I want to protect my flesh just like anybody else, So
and we talk about all like this on the podcast. It's just like internet and money. It's who's using it and what are they using it for.
For sure, exactly.
And it's just another tool. It's literally anything we use is a tool.
Bro. That is a good point, bro. That's a valid point.
Yeah,
it is just a tool that you just have.
Yeah,
and that you just might need it.
Yeah.
But you hope that you would never have to use. Like, that was the dude was saying. The dude was like, yo, man, I love having a gun, but I never want to use my gun.
Yeah.
And that shit kind of fucked me. I was like, why do you have it then? Yeah. He was like, because I would rather have it than not have it. And I was like, nah, okay, I feel you.
So one thing I'm curious about is we have gotten some weird male since we've started doing this.
Really?
And yeah, we've had crazies come out of that, more than one, multiples, and we won't get too far into that. But as you're leveling up in followers, you're gonna see a lot of different kinds of DMs, a lot of different people reaching out. Have y'all? I mean, do you have any horror stories?
I got a lot.
Oh, let's go. Say no more.
I got
Say
a lot.
But I do, but I think I don't pay attention to them. Like, I mean, like we get crazy like content. People send us content all the time, and sometimes I get content. I'm like, you really think we would post this? Like, like recently we got a video of like a guy literally like opening the door and like no, it was a homeless guy shitting on a car.
Yep,
like,
I would have posted it. That's hilarious.
Pulled his down.
It's funny.
Pull his pants down and shit on a car, and I'm like, come on now.
You don't think that shit's funny?
I think it's funny. Don't get me wrong.
So is
I
this
laughed,
a video
like,
that guy sent it to you, or
somebody
somebody
else saw it and recorded it and sent it to us. So
you know what need to be posted on Georgia Followers? This shitting video.
Yeah. So we get stuff like that
on the car.
all the
This
time.
shit crazy.
This shit crazy.
The craziest thing I've seen lately, and this has nothing to do with us, is the breast milk at the music festival
Oh,
video.
son.
What's
Hey.
that?
I haven't seen that.
I ain't gonna lie. What? Y'all didn't see the EDM girl? She was dancing and she just took a nipple, squirt,
On
on
people.
On people?
And
Her
then
breast milk.
old boy comes and gets in front of her and
Starts drinking it.
Yeah.
That's lit. That's
No,
lit.
son, that's not lit,
like
bro.
from a distance.
Did you say
target-
nobly?
He was like mobily.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's at a distance
And
and
she's
she's
moving.
aiming and he's receiving.
That's lit though, bro.
Hey, what's crazy?
If I go to an EDM
What's-
concert, I
it's
want to do
nuts.
that.
But what's crazy is her nipple squirting skills were like immaculate.
They were, it was impressive.
She was really good at nipple squirting, bro.
Paralleled.
That was crazy.
Well, the
I
other thing,
was like, yo.
she doesn't have a bump. Like, she didn't look particularly pregnant. So you know that she's been working on this one for a little while.
Yeah.
Or either she just
she just
had a baby.
Yeah.
Then if she just had a baby, she's just a fucked up mom. She's just not. You just giving away your baby titty milk for the free. For the free.
I find it difficult to believe that she started doing that sober. So
Oh, nah, that-
ingesting's going back in.
Nah, bro, that's a party trick that she pulled. That's a party trick. She pulled that out.
That's crazy though.
And she probably asked her husband, "Hey Frank, is it okay if I do the thing? Can I do the
do
thing?
it? Can I
Can
do it?
I
I'll get on my knees, squirt in my mouth.
Can I do the thing? Oh fuck, Susan, do the thing. Do the titty milk thing.
Yo, so what is the process of saying this is brand effective and this is OV?
Yeah, I think over time we just kind of been doing the trial and error thing, and like we just at this point I just know, but like we'll put out stuff and be like, oh, people didn't like that, let's delete it, and we'll put out something that really worked well, and so basically at this point now I just know what to sift through,
What hits and what misses?
Stuff that people in Georgia like. I feel like we got such a large following now. Like anytime we talk about Waffle House or we talk about the Falcons or UGA or
Chick-fil-A?
traffic, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I love Chick-fil-A.
Damn, anytime you say that,
I love Chick-fil-A.
I'm literally picturing y'all's posts as you go through those brands. Like
Yeah.
those are so associated with you in my mind in like the digital space. Like when I see Georgia Followers pop up.
Yeah,
We definitely
that's what
posted
it
a bunch
is.
of that shit.
Rappers.
They love those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, well, that's another thing. Atlanta right now and we talk about this all the time, is in a renaissance. Like you've got actual culture, like actual soul meeting actual business,
For sure.
meeting the arts.
For sure.
Like that's such a crazy time, and as long as our government doesn't mess things up, it seems to work out at the last second majority of the time.
For sure. And we should be straight.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's what a lot of people from here don't understand. That is, we are Atlanta, but we're still very Georgia-ly governed.
No, 100%.
Right.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
from the South.
Inside
Still
the
a South
perimeter,
state,
yeah.
bruh.
And that's
It's a
what
different
people
world.
don't realize. That
Still a
like,
South state,
yeah.
man. Like, I mean, as much as progressive as we're thinking that we are, man, we're still from the South,
people,
bruh.
people think Georgia is Atlanta.
Yeah, and it's like,
that's
nah,
it.
bruh.
Like people outside.
You don't know about Macon. You
Yeah,
don't
you
know
don't know about
Savannah.
Savannah.
Shit, you don't know about Columbus.
Yeah.
No cap. I'll say I'm from Atlanta, and I'm from like the north side. I'm Gwinnett.
So you from-
So,
well,
I'll say I'm from the north
Metro
side.
I'm from the
Atlanta
south side.
Is Atlanta. Metro Atlanta. And when we're talking about, hey, there's 6 million people who live here.
Yeah.
There's only like 400,000 that live like
In
in
the
the city
city
of
limits.
For sure,
Atlanta.
yeah.
And as you get farther out, you're getting in even something like Buckhead. Buckhead's Atlanta.
Right.
It's
For sure.
10 minutes away, but it's the 5 or 6 million, whatever that number is all the way up to like Cherokee County, all the way out to Paulding.
I don't know about
Con-
that, brother.
That's a stretch. Hey, bro, that's a lot.
Yeah.
When I just start seeing trees, that's when I'm like, ah. Hey, now.
Hey, look, if Migos can call Gwinnett north side of Atlanta,
Well, that's
north
the-
side.
see,
That's the
it's-
north side.
I had an issue with that when it like I don't like North Side to me. I don't know. Growing up in high school, like it's always been West Side, East Side,
Yeah.
and South Side.
What
And
high
then-
school, by the way?
Huh?
What high school?
Jonesboro in the
Jonesboro.
building.
Yeah.
Jonesboro in
Is
the
that where
building.
y'all met?
Bro, I've known
Yeah,
it, bro.
we
We
know
known
each
each other
other.
since like middle school.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
yeah, yeah. So we from the South Side. We like North Side wasn't even a thing back then. I don't feel like until the Migos came. It was like, oh, we repping the North.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Now the South Side's always
Now I can actually say I'm from Atlanta.
right,
the South Side's always been a thing.
Yeah,
Just want to let
for
that be
sure,
known.
for sure.
It's
No,
always been a
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Clayton
yeah,
County has
yeah,
always
yeah,
been a
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, everyone from my area says they're from Atlanta, and anyway. But if people be like,
Yeah.
"What part of Atlanta?" You say your city. Now you can
Right,
just say
right.
the north.
Oh yeah.
But hey, for extra credit, I was born in Northside Hospital, which is
Hey,
actually in
for-
Atlanta. So
for extra credit.
hey, how many of y'all were actually born in Atlanta?
I wasn't.
I wasn't. I wasn't
So
either.
you
Nah,
are more
but-
Atlanta.
Well,
than
he
So
me.
was born in Virginia.
Yeah,
He's
you already
not
know
even
what they
Atlanta.
got.
I'm not
DC?
from. I'm born in Alabama.
Alabama.
He not from here either.
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Here, yeah.
Where at?
Where at?
What hospital?
So, Kennestone.
What the hell is that?
That's in Georgia.
Kennestone.
Yep.
You know, for the longest, I was just an ignorant ass person. I was just like, man, I don't know what no hospitals is besides Grady and Piedmont.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. That was only two hospitals. Just like I always thought. Just like I only thought it was Hartsfield Jackson. I thought it was the only airport in Georgia.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
story-
definitely the
uh,
best airport, but
In the
Yeah.
world.
yeah, well, the biggest. It's
The
the
biggest, but I
yeah.
thought that was the only airport in Georgia. I thought motherfuckers had to drive all the way from like Savannah
You could fly
to
private
get to
out
get
of-
to Hartsfield.
Nah.
Yeah,
all
bro. If
day.
you had a flight at 2:00, bro, you gotta leave your
KSU.
house at
Get
like
that Uber, get
9
that
in the
Greyhound.
morning.
I was gonna say, tell them your 285.
Oh, bro, look, bro. When I first started like driving up through the city, like back when I was like 18, 19, 285, I always knew 285 was just a circle. But I never knew how big the circle was. So, bro, I was riding on 285 and I missed my exit. And I was like, ah, shit, man, it's a circle. I'll just, get around. Hey, bro, tell me why I was driving for a whole hour. And I was like, damn, I ain't passed my exit again. I didn't realize 285 was literally, bro,
circle.
like two.
Oh,
It's crazy.
It's huge,
Dude,
bro.
I thought I was on West. Now I'm on North.
I said, bro, dog, I ain't never making that mistake again.
I feel like it turns. You'll be on west, then it turns into north.
Yeah, it gets
Bro, do you really know how big 280? Bro, it circles the entire city, but bro, do you really know how big that is?
Probably
Yeah.
close to 100 miles.
Dog, it is huge.
I wonder.
It's
It probably takes like
huge.
an hour 30 though.
Yes, bro, hour 30 driving in your own city.
Yeah.
In a circle, dancer.
And you thinking that
Yeah,
you about
you
to
better
pass your
skip
and you
rush
think-
hour.
and you
Yeah.
thinking you about to pass your exit again.
Yeah.
So I'm driving and not even like worried about not passing my. I'm about to see this shit again.
I don't know why you thought that.
I'll see this shit again. I'll be straight.
So you guys start around 7 years ago. You start putting
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I would say precisely we started in 2010.
Okay,
so
cool.
really 9
years ago.
But like things didn't really start picking up until 2013, 12.
I want to hone in on that because
Yeah.
you start putting out relevant content, and when you do, are you focusing on engagement? Are you just pumping out as much content as you can? Like, what are you doing as far as content creation and curation to focus on those followers?
Yeah, I think we are like I think it's something that subconsciously we did. Yeah, I feel like at first we were kind of just I definitely don't look at like the numbers of how many impressions we get and all that. Like never really done that. But we started off by kind of looking at retweets. Like, okay, that got 100 retweets. Okay, we need to create more of that. Let's write that down. Create more content out of that realm. You know what I'm saying? And it's just been doing that for so long, like over a 10 year span, that we just kind of know at this point what to release and what not to.
So
So
are
we're
you-
still learning too, though.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
a trial. Yeah, it's still a trial and error.
error.
Just to
Yeah.
quickly give some context to
Yeah.
what y'all have accomplished, can you and I know you guys have gotten in some trouble with Instagram and they
Yeah.
took down your
Oh,
account, so
yes,
we'll have to
yes,
talk
I'd
about
love
that.
to talk about that.
But at y'all's prime and even now, like what are some accolades or achievements or even numbers that you could share so we can give context to like how big you guys have really been in the pivotal?
Yeah, I'm always bad with this stuff because I never really think about it.
Yeah.
But I will definitely say reaching 1 million followers was a big accomplishment. I've had like TEDx speeches before on social media. That's
Boom.
a big accomplishment. Accepted awards. We've been on like, Channel 2 Action News talking about the brand. I actually have an article coming out in AJC They said it's gonna be front page. I don't know yet.
Hey, that's heavy.
Yeah,
Let's get a blue button on that.
Yeah.
I'm on a winning streak.
So yeah,
we had a bunch of stuff
like that. We've done interviews.
I'm on TV. I'm on TV off of this.
Yeah?
Bruh. I'm on.
Talk about it.
My episode comes out tomorrow.
What,
So it's a show called Chrissy Knows Best. I've been on that show for like the past 4 years.
Chrissy?
Chrisley.
Okay.
Knows Best. And I've been on that show for the past like 4 years. But what's crazy is the reason I got that show is through GA followers.
Really?
Like, yeah, man. Me and the kid, I was supposed to do an interview with him through GA followers. And never happened. But I ended up meeting up with him in UGA. We became cool. He liked what we did. He liked what I did. 4 years later, I'm still on TV. Yeah. So it's like, bruh, I mean, and this is all after like pumping out content that me and him used to pump out for a ton of time, doing question videos and interviews and all kinds of stuff. Bro, it was, hey, bro, we've done a lot of stuff. We got Foot Action sponsorship about sponsorships about Foot Action.
I saw y'all doing interviews with a lot of, doing with like Migos, Trinidad James.
Yeah, Migos' first ever interview.
That was sick. Yo, Quavo looks so young.
Yeah, bro.
What was that, like 6 years ago?
I don't know when that was. When was that, bro? Was that 6 years? That was 5 years. Because when we looked at the interview the other day, it was 5 years ago.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. 5 or 6 years ago, bro, when we did
it's crazy. We did it like at their parents' house.
Yeah,
like Offset was in jail.
I think it was Quavo's aunts, which was Takeoff's mom or something.
Yeah.
And so when we pulled up to the interview, it was like dark. The house was dark as hell.
Yeah, bro.
The manager was like, "Yo, come to the back,"
and I was like, So we had our cameraman. It was me, Jeremy, and it was this girl. And yeah, I was like, yo, son, what did you get us into, bro? Yeah. What did you get us into?
Dude comes out like a gun on his head.
I was like, yo.
And y'all barely knew them at that point.
Bro, we didn't know him at all.
Really?
Bro, Jeremy called me. Jeremy calls me and goes, yo, man, we got to do this interview with the Migos. I said, bro, I'm not. I listened to the song Bando. It's like, I'm not doing that
Tracked
interview.
out that band.
I was like, I'm not doing that interview. I'm not doing it. He was like, bro, trust me on this one, bro. They gon' blow. Do the interview. I said, all right, bro, whatever, dog.
You said that?
Yeah.
How did you know?
Cause I like look at YouTube and like see, okay, this is a artist that's bubbling. So I see the views and stuff like that, and then I'm like, all right, we need to jump on this ASAP.
We jumped on Migos ASAP.
Yeah,
I didn't want to do the interview, but when I got in there when we did the interview, bro, and then literally I was at work, and I think when he was posting it while I was at work, and I called him. I was like, hey, bro, this interview going up right now. What's really good? He was like, bro, I told you. Hey, and after that, boom, Trinidad James interview went up through the roof.
Yeah.
Wyeth and Lucci. Jared Benton went up through the roof.
Who else?
I mean,
Wyeth and Lucci.
That's crazy. Yeah, y'all were there.
Yeah. Oh, Bankroll Fresh.
Yeah, we did.
Recipes Bankroll. You know what's crazy, bro, is we did Bankroll, and literally like 2 weeks later he died.
Wow.
Yep. We did Bankroll Fresh, and literally like 2 weeks later he died, bro.
Was that his last interview?
That was one of his last interviews, which is wild, bro. That was one of his last interviews. Damn, I'm just now thinking about that, bro. That was one of his last interviews, bro.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
But to the point or the question you guys asked, we're still kind of learning like what to post too. You know, like especially like from a video standpoint, we're brainstorming every day. Like, what kind of content can we create? So, you know, like the gun video I just explained, like that kind of did well for us. So it's like, all right, well, we need to make a series out of that. All right, but like, what else can we do to make a series out of? And like, but so the growth is, you know, we're still learning.
Yeah, right.
So if you look up on a YouTube channel, are these going up on YouTube or is it all through IG and Twitter?
We've been doing IGTV lately. We had a YouTube channel, it got shut down as well.
All right, so what's up with this? Why?
So with the YouTube channel in specific. Basically, we just had, YouTube changed their terms and conditions a couple years ago, and I just didn't really pay attention to it. And we had videos on our page that I guess went against the new rules. So they started flagging our account, and once you get 3 strikes, it's over, and that was that. So, but for the, what he was speaking to earlier, our Twitter and our Instagram got shut down at one point because we were using other people's content without giving them the proper credit.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things where, like, I started this not even thinking about
it's
stuff
just like a
that.
retweet, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was just like, I'll use a picture and not give somebody credit because that's what I saw online.
Like people, the fat Jewish fuck Jerry. All
those
guys,
but they steal everything.
Their whole clout is based on stolen material.
Taking stuff, right? But look where they're at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't nobody say nothing.
So why?
They do. I feel like I've seen a couple of articles of people tripping about.
Yeah, they could trip.
Jerry.
Yeah, you could trip. But
they
what's
didn't
gonna
have
happen?
their account.
Ain't nobody gonna delete their account.
Yeah.
Their accounts have never been deleted Fuck Jerry is through the roof. Fat Jewish. I mean, he has his own bottle of wine
That
now.
rosé
Like,
company,
come on,
yeah.
man. It's
Yeah.
good. It's those things like that where I'm always like, bro, what happened with us that? Why did y'all do that to us?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't do anything that anybody else would do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What happened where it was like, all right, man, y'all are gonna be the ones that we make an example of.
I always think about that. I think the difference between us and them is that our content is so localized that, you know, if we post something in the area, somebody is going to know about it.
Yeah.
And it's, whereas accounts like that, they could steal something
For sure.
and it's just
Yeah,
like, you can't really find a source right there.
True.
But for us, the source is there. You know, so, but that's something I learned over time. Like, I've always been on the internet, and I never really thought that, like, sharing people's photos would be an issue. But then,
Yeah,
it is.
It goes back. The
Yeah,
riches are in
yeah.
the niches.
Right,
Instagram,
Because
if you're listening, we
localized.
want answers.
yeah. But yeah, we started our Instagram back over this year, and we're already at like 70K. So
Let's go.
it's been
When
it's
you
been-
guys
it's
put
been
up a
grinding.
video like that, that gun video,
Yeah.
and you get a very polarizing comment or interaction,
Yeah.
do you guys view that as a positive or a negative? Because sometimes the more polarizing, the more impressions you're gonna get,
Yeah.
but then also, you know, there's, you know, you get there's the negative PR that could come. So was it a good thing or a bad thing in y'all's eyes?
I think it's all good.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I think
Yeah.
all press is
I
good
agree.
press.
Yeah.
You know, that's my stance. So if people are talking, I like people talking.
Who's coming back anti-gun on this too? Because so two questions for you. You've got a divided group of
Yeah,
people,
for
right?
sure.
But I heard you say earlier your initial audience was primarily younger and African American.
For sure.
And
yeah.
so so I just watched the Killer Mike thing where
Right.
he's talking about guns,
Yeah.
and that got a huge response. You
Yeah.
know, that got a mostly positive response.
Okay.
And so I'm curious, who's coming back and going anti? Is this people's moms? Is this young girls? Like, is
Yeah.
there something to it?
I think there is something about. I think guns kind of in today's society have been attached to like the right wing kind of thinking.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when they see like, I guess a black person doing it, it's like, I don't know. It just, I guess it's polarizing. I think it's a lot of black people or just progressive people,
Mhm.
you know, in general. I feel like people don't really like them.
No.
Sure.
Once
Yeah,
you give
it's
education behind them,
Yeah.
once you
It's hard
understand,
not
you
I
understand it.
I understand it too, because it's like you were explaining earlier. Us
Yeah.
growing up, we've always kind of had a bad connotation to
Of guns.
Like
Yeah.
we know people have been shot, been killed before, you know, from gun violence. So it's like, you know, you're always like, dang, why would you pick up the gun? Because you know it only does danger.
But let's give police officers way more guns, way
Right.
bigger guns,
Yeah.
and take away all the people's.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Uh,
So,
Anyway, we had Kirk Natus on.
all right, bro.
When we had Kirk Natus on, he talked about leveraging. Sorry, I do get passionate about that.
Nah,
so
I love it.
He mentioned, you know, he kind of came up on Floribama Shore,
Yeah.
and he.
Y'all know Kirk, right?
Kirk.
Metis.
Oh yeah, that's his boy.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
that's our boy.
yeah,
That's our boy. Yeah.
that's the homie.
Yeah,
He did a
yeah.
few of our stuff actually. I was
Yeah.
thinking like Florida Bama show. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but we love Kirk.
For sure.
So when he came on, he said, "Look, I had this opportunity. I get to be on MTV. I'm in front of 1 million people an episode and up, right? But MTV's not paying him giant money for
Yeah.
this or per episode,
Heck
whatever.
no.
So he has to figure out a way to leverage his fame to
Right.
turn that into dollars. You know, will an apartment complex pay me to live there just so other people want to move in next to Kirk?
Right.
What about apparel? If I rep special clothing brands at the club, they're paying
Right,
him,
right,
right?
right.
And then even promotion, like he'll throw a club night and hey, I'm gonna bring so many people out, and then he's making dollars every week, every weekend,
Right, right,
pretty
right.
consistently.
For
When
sure.
you get up to $1 million or 1 million followers on Twitter, or even 70K on Insta,
Yeah.
this path toward monetization, did that look like for you guys? Are we talking sponsored posts? Are we talking gear? Are you able to drive people back to a site, or even throw events? Like how is that generating money for your pockets?
Well, everything you named, we do.
Everything, yeah.
So, I mean, at first, none of those things were possible, I feel like. But after a while, it's just people reaching out saying, hey, what does it cost to advertise? And we got to come up with pricing.
Yeah.
And we send it to them, and then they pay. And then, but then it's like figuring out how we can make the most out of each one of those factions that you named. You know, it's like, all right, well, the event, how can we make the most lucrative event? Right now, we're planning a FIFA tournament. We usually do an annual FIFA tournament. Gaming tournaments are very lucrative.
Yeah.
If you ever do the research. So
one of our good friends used to throw one every week.
Yeah, and it's
every week.
Every week. So
It's a
on
Super
that
Smash
Super
Bros,
Smash
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Shout out Mike Parker.
Yeah. It's very lucrative. And it's
Jesus.
like for this FIFA tournament that we're doing, possibly in January, we're in the talks with like Atlanta United, and they're going to sponsor it, which
sweet.
allows us to like make more
That's
revenue
awesome.
on the event. So it's just, yeah. I guess I hope I answered your question.
Well, so you did.
Okay.
I'd love to know what some of the largest successes in terms of monetization of your crowd have been.
Yeah.
And then if you have any failures, like what is something you did that just fucking flopped?
For sure. A lot of our biggest successes are like apparel.
Yeah.
And we, some of the sponsorships we had, like he mentioned, was Foot Action, Foot Locker. They were paying a lot, and but even with apparel, I guess we've had a lot of failures there. We we come up with a design, put it out there, people don't really rock with it, and it's like, well, we just bought 100 of these shirts, so we're gonna have to take the L.
Yeah.
So I mean, like not that it's that much, but
What do you do? End up giving them out for free? Or
yeah,
using as
some-
prizes.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
giveaways or give them out or use them for like modeling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, it's risks all over the place. Events
Absolutely.
too. We've done events where we've lost money.
One thing we were talking about when I first met you, Ronndell, was valuing yourself. So we had William King Hollis, who's one of the fastest trending motivational speakers on YouTube right now. If you type in best football speech, it's either him or Al Pacino that pops up first. He's got 200 million plus views, and he was on the verge of suicide one day after some terrible shit happened. Homeless, like dude's life was like mom overdosed, like things were not going. Dad was a hitman for Big Meech, is incarcerated for life. Like things aren't going well, and he's thinking about taking his life. And he gets a phone call because his football speech had just gone viral, or one of his speeches had just gone viral, and it was someone saying, "Hey, we want you to come speak at our school. We feel you can change a lot of lives."
Yeah.
And he gets this call on the brink of suicide, and they're like, "How much do you want to charge?" And in his head, he's like, "I'm broke." He's like, "Shit, 150."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just threw something out there. And so you were talking about a similar thing. How do you come up with a valuation for your posts? Is it this many followers plus this many likes equals this many thousands of dollars per post? What is that? How do you value yourself in the influencer space?
Yeah, like is there a pyramid to it or a structure depending on how popular it is?
Shit,
Yeah.
analytics for real.
Yeah.
There definitely is websites that can tell you like, okay, you have this many followers, you should be charging this much, but I don't think we really followed that template. We kind of just started, it was another thing where it's just trial and error. It's like, okay, well, let's try it, let's see if they will pay for this much.
Yeah.
And then they say yes, and then it's like, okay, well, obviously if we're valued at that level, we can charge other people that much.
Yep.
And it's just been a lot of trial and error, but yeah, we just kind of make it up on our own, really.
Yeah.
Just an idea. I'm sure I'm not the first person to think this or tell you this, but have you considered for monetization? How many do you have on Twitter right now? How many followers?
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5
million?
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, 1.5 million, 70 on Insta. Have you considered going to local food restaurants, places, and saying, hey, look, we've got a following. We want to monetize the following, or we want to advertise for you.
Right.
And just, hey, come up with a special for Georgia followers. And if they announce this, if they tell the waiter they get X dollars off or whatever, and let's see how much traffic we can drive to your sneaker release, to your restaurant, to whatever. Or even, how Joe Rogan does the promo code. Use our code to buy X, right?
You remember how the football teams used to sell those coupon books in high school?
Oh shit, yeah, I remember that. That's crazy you said that though, because we're actually doing restaurant reviews right now.
Perfect.
To where we're actually going to restaurants and we're reviewing their restaurants. But you know what I'm saying? So we should definitely for sure.
Like
the next time we
1.5 million, you have
that,
damn near 20% of the city.
That's
No,
I mean,
20% of the city will see your stuff.
Yeah, we've done stuff like that before too. You know, it's, but but like you're right though. Like we could, especially with the content, like you mentioned, like we could definitely be doing it more.
And I'm not talking about whoring out, obviously.
I'm
talking about, hey, these are brands that we specifically fuck with.
Right.
This is stuff we use, and even leveraging it to get a new pair of shoes, a new pair of jeans. I really want that jacket. I don't want to pay $700 for it, but I'll give you a blast for a week.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shout out Fashion Nova Men.
Yeah, I've been trying to get on Fashion Nova Men for a long, bro. That's what I've been trying to do with being on Christy Knows Best, man. Just been trying to see. I've always branched. So we've just now trying to branch ourselves off of, not necessarily off of GA followers, but I've always, before we even started, when we started doing our content, like it was like, okay, Ronndell, you're gonna be, you can put your face out there as much as possible, because we always had this struggle with like, yo, there is no real life face behind. It's just I mean, it's a brand. You just see the GA followers logo.
Is that
you really
how you came in, or you were already there was no face you were in it?
That's literally how. That's literally how I came in. Like you know what I'm saying.
So you were like, I need a face for this brand.
Well, we was always friends, but you know what I'm saying. After that, I was like, yo, like,
you were the class clown.
Let me write.
You were funny.
Let me rock. But I had to tell. But I mean, he knew I wanted to be in it. You know what I'm saying. I want to do entertainment full time. He was like, bro, well, let's start doing these videos. You do this, do that, be the face. But the face actually, I mean, putting a face behind something, they can actually, you know what I'm saying. And he says this all the time. They can attach to that. You know what I mean? Like I can attach to that guy because I know who he is. Versus I can attach to GA followers, but I really don't know who GA followers is. That's
you want it to be somewhat personal.
You want it to be all the way personal. Yeah. You want people to know.
Absolutely.
You want all people to be all the way personal. You want people to buy into you. You know what I mean? When you buy into a brand, because I mean, it's just like Fashion Nova, for example. You buying the Fashion Nova because maybe Cardi B's wearing Fashion Nova. Most girls buying it because, some celebrity chick is wearing Fashion Nova. They don't buy Fashion Nova because it's Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova's ugly as shit. Let's be real. It's not a good clothing line.
That is how you get sponsored.
But it's okay.
That's gonna be the title of our video.
Rondell says Fashion Nova ain't shit. But I'm saying, that is essentially, people are buying, not necessarily buying into the Fashion Nova brand. They're buying into who's wearing the Fashion Nova brand. So once you put somebody behind the brand of GA followers, it goes, all right, now I'm rocking with those dudes. I'm rocking with, when I see those dudes out, I fuck with GA followers, but I fuck with GA followers now because of these guys. You know what I'm saying? I see how they rock.
Man, as far back as I remember your face on those videos where you would be interviewing the girls in Buckhead.
We was just
what's the best pickup line you ever heard? I actually think I popped in once.
We about to drop those. We about to redrop those.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Bring them back.
We about to bring those back.
If you see this face, edit it.
That's some impressive guerrilla marketing, though. Like you're in the trenches. Let's go out to the bars, especially when we're talking about that campus, that college culture, right? You've got all the freshmen who are sneaking into the bars for their first time.
For sure.
You got all the people coming up. And hey, we're on Twitter. We're going to put you on video. They're drunk. They're not going to say no.
Right.
And hey, follow us, retweet, tell your friends. That's super slick. And I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, no, when we were out there and shooting those videos, I mean, we would get stopped like, oh my God, like GA followers, like people taking pictures and all that. So, because we had a mic that had our logo on it. And people, the thing is with us, is like we're so online that like, when people see it I feel like when people see it in real,
they almost think it's not real. Like, it's almost like, oh shit, you guys are people.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's another reason why I kind of wanted to personalize things, because I want people to be like, dang, okay, like I'm attached to that.
Well, for me, it was like, when I saw you doing that interview, I've seen it on screen, but I also saw you in person, and it was the same experience to me as seeing a news station cover something.
Yeah,
like, you guys had built up that much perspective to me, where I looked at it and I was like, these aren't just two guys with a mic and a camera. This is a highly professional, methodical, calculated brand, and now I think that's amazing, because that's. Now I'm doing it with him, and I see how hard that is to pull off.
For sure.
Yeah. And especially if you're not doing it as a facade, because you guys have a whole infrastructure. You guys were pretty much the news for a younger, more urban community.
Right.
And I think that's where honestly think that's where a lot of your success comes from, is that element of what you were talking about, is you guys aren't just good tastemakers, but that element of authenticity.
For sure.
You're actually in the streets talking to people, doing things like in a way that coincides with your brand. It's
For sure.
amazing. Yeah.
I want to touch
Appreciate
the streets.
Yeah.
I want to touch the streets.
Bless them, bro. Feed
Smell
the streets.
it. I want to smell them. I want everybody to see what it is, man. Straight up.
So how did you guys come together as when you first off, I commend you for making that move, because as someone who has a brand, it's hard to say maybe that there's someone who could be a better face person than me, or I don't want to be the face person. How do I do this? And you got to bring in people, and a lot of people would rather take a small piece or a big piece of a small pie instead of a small piece of a big pie,
Right.
whether it's actual equity or whether it's brand recognition,
Right.
whatever the key may be. So hats off to you for immediately understanding I need to bring in a personified
Thinking long
fact.
term instead of
Exactly.
thinking short term.
Yeah, and you got this guy who's just high energy anytime you
right,
see him. And
right.
so, what what was it when you were like, I need to bring on Ronndell, and then what was that like?
Well, really,
He ain't want to do it.
He
He ain't want to do it, bro.
Nah,
Real
I
life.
definitely-
You can keep it a buck.
I definitely remember him. We were at Kevin's place.
Yeah.
And we were on the rooftop, and he's like, "Yo, I want to get down GA followers." I was like,
You said
know.
that to him?
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, I never really thought about having more people, but yeah, I don't see why we shouldn't do it. And that was really how I got started. But I knew, me personally, like, I was kind of funny about getting in front of the camera, like speaking.
You were never feeling it?
Yeah, I was never like that, like
I was
trying
about to
be-
make it as a rapper.
I say that I say that all the time, bro.
that was my issue rapping too. Like, I had an issue of kind of like going on stage sometimes and like that. Yeah. So I'm kind of over that now. But that's how it kind of started. I was like, yo, you get in front of the camera, you do everything, bro. Like.
And you were all about that. That was
He
what
was
you
with
wanted
that
to
shit.
do.
That's bro. I'm with it. That's
Yeah.
But you gotta understand. I'm that's where I'm from, bro. I've been doing entertainment since I was like 14, 15 years old.
What does that mean?
Like, I've been in the entertainment business, like had an agent since I was like 14, 15 years old.
Comedy since the beginning?
I started doing comedy at 16 out in LA.
I heard
Then-
stand-up is one of the hardest things to master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything is hard. I mean, it takes 10,000 hours to master anything.
No, absolutely. But
But
that shit
it
touch-
only
stand-up
takes
com-
about 100 to really start getting in the
Oh,
zone.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
And
definitely.
the difference between, let's call it 500 hours and 10,000 hours is minimal. You
Oh,
hit
yeah,
that
for sure.
exponential curve,
Yeah.
and you'll be at 80% of where you'll be.
Oh, for sure.
At 10,000 hours, it's that extra craft, right?
For sure. Stand up sucks.
Can I ask a question?
I'm gonna go ahead and keep it a buck with you. I
Golly,
love stand up to death, man. I do. I really love it. But you gotta understand, bro. It's the entertainment business is not like anything else, bro. It will eat you up, spit you out, eat you up again, spit you out again. You know what I mean? And then have you feeling good about yourself and yeah. And then be like, all right, motherfucker, give me that shit. And just
You
it's
ain't funny.
Yeah, and it's just a rap. And then you stuck like, yo, literally like 2-3 months ago, I was boom. What the fuck is going? What is going on? Yeah, man. But stand up is one of those things, man. After you get over that first year hump, like, you stuck. You know what I mean? After that first year you in stand up, like, you stuck. It's like, I'm gonna forever do this shit because I love doing. Me personally, bro, I love making people laugh. I love entertaining people, regardless if I'm not being funny or not. Even if I'm acting in a serious role or you know what I mean, doing. As long as I'm entertaining you, bro, putting a smile on your face or making you feel some type of emotion or, you know what I mean, making you go through something that I already went through, and it's like, oh shit, man, I ain't never. I remember that. You know what I mean? That's all I really care about.
So the
bro.
next guy that's coming on, his name is Tony Vari.
Okay.
And he is the funniest human being I've ever met. Just hands down, he is stupid funny.
Word.
But we were trying to get him onto an open mic. What kind of advice do you have for somebody going into stand-up for their first time?
Great question.
I know he's funny. Everybody knows he's funny. He's just got to get on stage and make it happen. Do you have any kickers?
Does he want it? Does he want to do it?
I think we all want him to do it.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. If y'all want him to do it, I tell him don't get on stage. He's got to want to do it. He's got to want to do it.
Yeah.
That's real,
let's
bro.
Say he does. Let's say
Okay, let's say he does. If he does actually want to get on stand up and he has like some kind of like passion towards and he's done his research, there is the best advice I've ever gotten is don't take advice from nobody. Best advice I've ever gotten from a comedian was like, bro, don't take advice from me. Shit I say don't mean nothing.
Who said that? I remember that.
LeVar Walker told me that.
Okay.
LeVar Walker said, bro, don't ever take advice from no comedian. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I'm gonna give you advice, just don't listen to me. And I was like, why? He was like, because, bro, the advice I'm giving you is shit I've already done.
If he's telling you that, does that mean you should listen to advice?
I was
Nah, but see, this the thing. But see, this the thing. Though. Shit he's already done might not work the same way for me. You know what I'm saying? He might have went up this trail, and I follow that same trail, but I might fuck around, break my leg on that trail.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, damn, LeVar, you ain't tell me it was a rock right there. Like, hey, I told you. I just told you to go up the trail, bro. I didn't tell you.
I didn't say what was on
I didn't say what was on the trail. I just told you to go up it. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to me going up the trail, that's your fault. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I really don't like giving advice, especially to comedians, because it's like, bro, if I give you advice and you take it and you fuck up, and then you gonna look at me like, bro, I listened to you, man. Yeah. That's messed up. You told me that, and I'm like, bro, I just told you some shit that I went through. Yeah. You didn't have to. You don't. That wasn't a template for everything. That's not the template. That's just like with shit that we doing. Yeah. Like if somebody ran up to Jeremy or y'all to be like, yo, this is how y'all got to run y'all podcast. This is how you got to run GA followers. This is how you got to do this. Yeah. And you listen, and then your podcast a failure, and then nobody's listening to it, and you're gonna look at that man and go, hey, bro, that was some messed up advice you gave me. No, it wasn't messed up. The advice was great. You just shouldn't have listened.
Yeah.
It's just I think you just it's like everybody has a different path, you know.
For sure.
It's like I think I always think about that all the time. People always give me advice, but I always think that I need to do it my way, you know, because that's the way I'm most comfortable with, and that's the way that's worked for me, you know. And then, I mean, not to say that I don't take advice. I definitely listen. For sure. But, like, sometimes you just gotta live your own life, bro.
Yeah, well, we talk about this too a lot because it's super important. Like we're all around the same age, and it's, you know, we're in a very competitive space as far as being entrepreneurs and creating something with people who have a vast amount of years of experience over us, and so. Shit, I don't know where I was going.
Well, I was like, we're still not jaded by failure. So we've got the opportunity to take big risks and the time, man. 26 now, and you'll hear Gary V talk about it. You'll hear all these people talk about
Gary V.
I didn't. Well, look, he didn't make it until you know he put in the dirt, put in the work for decades, and he starts making it in the later half of his life.
For sure.
And so same thing here, like when you think about how much time you actually do have, don't dick around. Trust in the plan.
Right.
But move with urgency.
Yeah.
Fail often, fail early, and take those risks because that's the growing experience.
Oh,
right?
that's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah.
Fail often, fail early.
Yeah.
Oh, we're releasing a whole line. All www.hstlup.com.
Oh, say less.
Yeah, no, that fail fast, fail early, and it's also like, so that's what we talk about is we call it like an idea meritocracy, right? And it's how you take advice. It's not an on or off switch. I do or I don't take advice. Yeah. For me personally, I'll listen to your advice if I would switch places with you in a certain capacity. If you're a billionaire and you're giving me advice on how to make billions, I'll listen to you. But if you're giving me advice on, you know, how to date a girl and you're single, I'm not going to listen to you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's I would only listen to your advice if I'd be willing to trade spaces with you.
100%.
And so another idea is called, and I read about this in a book.
Wait, but time out. Yeah. All right, so what about in that case?
Yeah.
If you take somebody's advice, you're saying you can't take advice from somebody below?
No, you
in a
just
certain capacity.
Don't take advice from somebody you wouldn't want to trade spots with.
Yeah.
So I mean that's another way of putting it.
Yeah.
But if you wouldn't want to be in their position, like what do you have to listen to? Now I'm talking about situationally. This isn't just about your life. Like this person's broke, but man, they know a thing or two about women.
Right.
Or this person has been divorced 8 times.
Yeah. So they know why.
But they know about business.
For
That's
sure.
a better one.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't take relationship advice from the person who's been divorced 8, 10 times, whatever. Right?
Nah.
But you might take business advice from them. They might know a thing or two about running a company or starting a company, and you can pick and choose situationally.
And
for sure.
And what we heard it in a book by a big investor, and it's called an idea meritocracy. And you get a bunch of these people that you deem credible. So if it's I want to make $1 billion, find 4 or 5 billionaires. If it's I want to be in a good relationship, we'll find 3 or 4 of your friends who are in strong, committed relationships, and you circumvent their opinions and you walk away with your truth.
For sure.
So that's it, because advice is a very thing that can either push you really far back or it can push you really far forward. And
100%.
how do you filter it and act on it?
There it goes. How do you filter it? That's what I should have said. How do you filter it? Not just don't take it. How do you should filter it? You should definitely filter it.
What is this right here?
That's a red camera. Red camera.
We got this whole
like
wall turns into a computer. Yeah, and we got a big ass mouse.
I was like, damn.
I don't actually don't know what it is. It's
actually, dude, we had a green screen up, and
Okay.
it just got distracting, so we took it down.
Oh, okay.
It looks like it's a giant mouse pad.
Yeah,
but
that's why I was
red is a
feeling it. I was
camera.
like-
That's the camera though. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it has something to do. Or maybe you put your red on the
camera.
Maybe put the camera on the.
Maybe and clean it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it doesn't
We got
scratch
one
up.
here.
Did you ever see the red devices that they were going to make at one point? They had a prototype and it had a
For the
little
Kickstarter.
hologram that would come out.
Oh, that's
You
hard.
could
no, I didn't
watch
see
it.
that.
Yeah, I don't know whatever
That's
happened
hard.
to it, but
That's crazy.
You know, one of the billionaires have it somewhere.
yeah,
A few people have it, bro.
Oh man, I would definitely want to have one. I think holograms are going to be crazy.
I don't know,
I'm
bro.
waiting for augmented reality, guys, like serious augmented
Like
reality.
real.
Like the HoloLens
A-
on
AR?
steroids, yeah.
I feel you, bro.
Like I want to like throw the Georgia Followers logo across. Like if someone's watching
Just
this,
go like, zoop.
I could throw a Georgia's Followers logo and it could bounce around the screen, and the first
Yeah.
person to press it can get like a 5-minute phone call with
So
you
you,
guys.
so you
That's
talk
hard.
like some Black
That's
Mirror
where it's
type
going.
shit.
So
You remember that? You remember that AR? Do you remember that AR episode though? That's a
Wait, are you talking about the
I don't
VR one
remember.
where the guy put the thing around his
the,
head?
yeah, and
Oh,
and
he
he
was having
manifests his
sex
worst
with
it
him.
fears.
yeah, bro. I mean, that's
Oh
about
my god.
that's about as
the
real
one
as
where
it-
he was in a house.
Yeah, that's about as real as
I
it
like
gets.
that.
And then it was like-
VR jail with no time limit is probably one of
Yeah.
my
favorite
worst
Black. That was
nightmares.
that was on Black Mirror too.
It was,
That was the
but-
worst.
The idea
Oh,
of
that's crazy.
wearing cool glasses. I'm not talking about like big old honky glasses. I'm talking about like a cool pair of shades or a pair of contacts, and I can scan the room and I can get basic information.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
who am I?
Ronda. Yeah, who are you? How tall are you? How much do you
Yeah.
weigh? Like, well, just maybe you're like a cop, right?
Yeah.
He's scanning and he wants to have basic information on like what are threats.
Is he black? No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, I mean they'll be able to tell. Yeah, ought to be able to tell.
Yeah.
But even then, like, what are links to social media accounts? Or
Right.
if
No,
from
I
a
feel you.
marketing perspective, what is this person like? What could I sell this person?
Yeah.
What is this person likely to buy? What are interests?
Yeah.
And I just see all of that potential. I don't know when it's going to happen. I know we're on the way, but it's
Yeah.
going to change the game for small business in particular.
Oh, for
marketing
sure.
in particular.
VR
I
definitely would
think
change
so.
the game. VR definitely would change the game
Oh, yeah.
for a lot of shit.
What
bruh.
can we do together or as individuals? And when I say together, I mean content creators to boost the ecosystem of content creation in Atlanta. Because I already know there's a lot going on, but I feel like it's all very decoupled. You got your film people, you got your music people. You got your
You
film
wanna
people,
throw
and you got your
content
music people.
creation?
and there's not too and there's not there. You know what's crazy, man? When I was out in LA for a year, their YouTube community
Right.
is
Poppin'.
is
Yeah.
ungodly, and
Yeah.
there is no YouTube community here in Atlanta.
Dude,
No.
They-
Jets are January event.
they're ha-
Content
they're-
creators.
Yeah.
Get 2 or 3, some number of solid creators with solid followings. Get
Yeah.
these guys in there. You said you did a TEDx talk. That's pretty cool. Right?
Scary.
And we pack it out. Anybody who's interested in it, or people from the hustle universe, maybe people from the other influencers universes, and try to add value on what it takes to boost content creation in Atlanta.
Yeah, and
that needs to happen.
It needs to happen. We need a community like they have out in LA. And,
Yeah,
and I
bro.
think we can, because it'd be completely different. Like I think that was the first, like that LA community of influencers is
Yeah.
a first, and it's a very stereotypical group of influencers.
But they all work with each other,
Yeah, they
though,
all-
dude. They all of
Yeah.
them work with each other,
That's
bro.
the thing. We don't have that element of collaboration.
No, man,
Yeah.
no.
We
That's
need that.
exactly what
None,
it is.
none. They all work with each other. All of them. Every big every big YouTube star, every big Instagram star out in LA. They all know each other and they all work with each other. Some of them might not like each other, so they don't work. But dude, for the most part, all of them are working with each other.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I've heard that-
everybody's on everybody's Instagram. Everybody's on
Yeah.
everybody's YouTube. There's nothing like that out here.
I've heard that even
Exactly.
some YouTube creators like have houses out there and they just
The Clout House.
Yeah, the
it's like
Clout
a
House is
clout
huge.
I've never heard that.
The Cloud
but,
House
like,
is huge.
for
Yeah.
real. Yeah, and they just like have a whole bunch of like influencers in there
Yeah.
creating content
All day.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, man.
And it's like
There's-
Atlanta has people though. We
Yeah,
have
we have a
people.
ton.
They don't come together.
We have a ton. We got the Desi's. We have one of my man Lonnie. We got a few folks out here.
Do we? Because I feel like we got people who are actors, we've got promoters, and then we've got hip hop artists.
Yeah, I see what you're saying though. I see what you're saying. I mean I know a few content creators. They might not be huge on the
Yeah.
gram like we might want, but I do know a few of them. But there is no community for
Like
it.
you're not gonna get like a Logan Paul and like a FaZe
Oh,
Grand like type
no,
like
man. Nah, son.
we don't have anyone even on that level. I don't
Nah.
think you guys would know better than me.
I
but
mean,
don't
DC
know.
Young Fly would be the only person I can think of, but he don't
DC,
even he don't even create content no more.
Yeah.
DC don't do content. All he do is 85 South Show and movies
Yeah.
and TV now. Man, he don't. I mean,
Shout out 85 South Show.
the real talk, but
Love that show.
but yeah, he don't create content like that anymore. But when he first started, when he was doing vines and stuff, he don't do anything like that no more. You know, he don't
Yeah.
even do the Hispanic monkey anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the Hispanic monkey was hilarious. So it's like once he hit that level to where it's like, all right, do I really even need that? But we still have people like Desi Banks and what's Drewski and I mean there's a few people in Atlanta, but
Fly Guy DC.
Fly Guy DC, you know what I'm saying? We got a people, but Fly Guy don't do content either. Fly Guy radio host.
Damn.
I think it's interesting that
Fly Guy
I
radio.
see a lot of
Interesting.
like content creators like a DC Young Fly, like he'll like once they make it, they kind of like get into another realm and don't do what they did to get to the point where
Go
it's like, why
Hollywood.
not have both of them?
Well, it's
Yeah,
called.
absolutely.
I mean, you level. Well, King Batch still does it, but that's to my point, bro. Folks out in LA will still do content on YouTube and Instagram
Right.
and all that, and still be on movies and still
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
TVs and still have these multi-million. But like they will have all this and still be grounded to where they. Out here, bro, once you get that level, it's like I don't need to do that
Go
anymore.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't need to do that anymore. I ain't doing
Yeah.
I ain't making no content. I ain't shooting no YouTube videos for
Damn.
what?
I'm going Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'm not going Hollywood, dog.
Man, that's the problem. Everything gets, and then even on the film level, like that is the problem in Atlanta. Everything you could say the culture gets seeded here and then gets monetized somewhere else. Like
Yep.
the specific example I'm talking about, everything gets filmed here and then edited post production in LA
Yeah.
and then distributed in LA because all the video streaming platforms are based out of Silicon Valley and all that. So everything from distribution to post production is being done in LA, and it's the same on the music side. What big label do we have besides QC?
Yeah.
Yeah, Street is X.
With Street Execs, yeah.
JD's level. I mean, JD's.
There's not.
Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JD
But
got
to your point, there's not a lot.
Yeah.
not in comparison to what
answer it.
else. Yeah. So it's like, why does everything start? How? Like, I feel like that's our generation is to figure that answer out. How do we monetize the culture without it leaving our city?
That's a good point, bro. Because you're all right. Everything does go.
Everything
does go.
Even you, like you went to LA for a little
went
to
to LA. I
because
went-
there's opportunity.
I went to LA for a whole year, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
There's
That's
opportunity.
Literally the land of opportunity, bro. But I came back because I mean, for the most part, I didn't have what I guess the team or the people that I have here, to where I can reach out to somebody and be like, yo, let me go do this, or yo, let me go do this. Or, yo. It was a lot of those folks started somewhere else and then they moved to LA.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I went straight to LA and was like, all right, man, I'm on TV a little bit. Let me go ahead and try to chase that. Nah, bro, I should stay my ass at home.
Yeah.
Should have stayed my
Yeah,
ass right at home.
and like I feel like for him, like the acting thing is blowing up here in Atlanta. Like films being produced here,
Yeah.
and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah, so I think it's beginning to slowly kind of go that route where people are coming together and collaborating and doing bigger things here, but. It's just a process because we came from nothing, you know.
Yeah.
Came from nothing.
And it's been like that in LA since the 50s, the 40s. You know, Hollywood's been.
They've
there.
always been. It's always
Yeah.
been there.
Man,
always.
since that's what the whole thing's built off pretty
Right.
much.
Always, bro.
So what do you guys got coming up? What should we be expecting content wise from you guys? What's cool? Are we on YouTube? Are we back on YouTube? Are we on IGTV only?
Yeah, no, definitely shooting way more content. We've been talking about this literally the other day, where it's like, bro, let's just shoot as much
everything.
as possible.
Yeah.
And we can edit all day, you know, but let's
Yeah.
shoot as much as possible. Can't edit shit that we ain't shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So.
Yep.
That's what we in the process of doing.
So yeah, we're making a whole bunch of YouTube content, IGTV content, YouTube content, doing both, and then we also are planning a few events coming up. But other than that, it's just what you see, you know, what you've been getting.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
we're
what's
gonna
up.
continue to serve the streets,
Bang.
Smell the streets.
Bang.
serving the streets.
No, that's
content.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you guys are gonna continue and even build it into.
Yeah,
sure.
Appreciate it.
Now that him and I and G, who's our marketing and editor, now that we're in this content creation world, we hit it, headstrong running, and we're all from Atlanta too. Granted, North Side, right? But we're all from here, and like we want to make it happen. So like I feel like it's our generation. We have the internet. We know how to do it. We're impersonable people, and this is another thing we always talk about is, you know, us being, I would say 25 to 32 is the perfect age because we've got 1 foot in life before technology and 1 foot in, we've had it since pretty much right around puberty.
For sure.
We're at the intersection of this face-to-face and understanding that, whereas some, you know, maybe some of the younger guys are struggling, right? And then also understanding the tech, the phones, the computers better than some of the older generation.
For sure.
So even in business, when we're talking about, you know, one of the beautiful things, he's in high tech, I'm in low tech. And one of the easy things for me about low tech is that I can take the phone and the Google ads and the Facebook and all of that and take, you know, become a marketing company that does roofing or that does event rental or whatever. Now we're a marketing company that films a podcast and really push that with, you know, whatever tactics we want without getting lost in the sauce on you know, some of the face stuff.
No, I agree with that point too. Like I have a little brother who's kind of, you know, he's been a part of social media since he was young, you know? So it's like, but they don't know that other side. So it's like, they don't really know, you know, they don't know that, like how it was beforehand. You know what I mean? So,
I don't know your brother, but when I go in and I see kids with iPads all day long, and you take the iPad away and they don't know
what to do.
Like that.
They don't know what to do.
Like,
kids don't play outside anymore.
Nah, they don't.
It's weird. What another thing I was reading in one of your interviews, and I can't remember the order, otherwise I would just be like, is this right? But what do you use the different platforms for? What's Twitter for? What's Facebook for? What's Instagram for? And then even ones, I think that article came out before TikTok and all those things. I don't know what you guys use, but what do you say you use each platform for?
I think, I mean, right now we really just use them all the same. I feel like we just, you know, if something is popular on Twitter, we're posting on Instagram and Facebook, but they're, you know, we're just trying to grow all of them at the same time, really. So it's not, I don't think there's really a specific, you know, actually I take it back. Like, so for instance, we have a website as well. So a lot of articles that we release on our website, we make sure to push them out on Facebook and Twitter. But like, you know, websites aren't really big on Instagram, I feel like. So it's like we do kind of pick and choose what content goes where sometimes, just based on our following on each on each page too, because those are different. Like on Facebook, I want to say our main demographic is like women 25 to 30.
Yeah.
Like a lot of older people. Like you know, my mom will have a friend and she'd be like, yeah, I told her to follow your Facebook. And they was like, oh my God, they had so many mutual friends like already following and stuff like that. So it's like, I mean, we just got an older crowd there. So we do tailor it a little bit.
But overall, it's pretty asynchronous.
Overall.
Well, cool. Well, you guys, everyone knows where to follow y'all. GA followers.
Bang.
And that's GAfollowers.com too.
Yes.
Do you guys shout your personal accounts out or?
Yeah, we
You
can.
already know, man. At Who Is Ronndell with 2 N's, man. You already know what is going on.
Yeah, mine is Jeremy Pop Jones.
Jeremy Pop Jones.
Yeah.
What on the music side should people be looking out for anything? Or are you just kind of
writing? Gonna do a freestyle.
We are gonna do a freestyle.
Okay,
we need to figure out. We need to figure out how to get a beat queued up. We're gonna get it. Okay.
And we're gonna go get the phone.
Perfect.
Okay. But yes, my music. What were you about to say?
I was gonna say, are you making music that's getting ready for drops? Or are you writing for placements?
I'm not doing either.
Okay. My man said I'm doing nothing. I'm doing nothing.
I just write. I just write because I like to do it. Like I really enjoy it. But I don't know. I think at some point I might release something and we're gonna take over the streets.
Well, if you want to write for placements, you're in a great city to do that.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. Like, we can synchronize. Like like being a content creator means exposing everything you can do. You should be Georgia Followers and comedy. You should be Georgia Followers and music. Exactly. Yeah. Like that's gonna be a big part of the collaboration is doing that. So we'll get in some studios for sure. So
I'll mention you in my next song, man.
Yeah. Please do.
I got you.
And then with you on the comedy side, on Chrisley Knows Best, what's that show about? When's it airing?
Oh, the show is about this really rich white family. I'm just the only black guy on the show. That's literally it, token. Man. I'm just a token. I'm like, y'all remember Different Strokes? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just a less dead Gary Coleman.
Have you seen Get Out?
No, bro. Y'all not gonna do my mans like that, bro. Nah. But yeah, the show is cool, man. I've been doing it, like I said, for 4 years. My episode comes out tomorrow. I don't know when this airs, so it comes out November.
What channel?
USA at 9. USA at 9:30s. I'm on each channel, man. I'm on damn near every channel.
Let's go.
Literally all day.
Let's go.
All day long, bro. Literally, I'm on TV all day.
Are you
long.
doing any stand up coming up?
I don't have any shows coming up. I'm actually about to go on tour December 4th.
Cool.
Yeah,
Where
so
you
I'll be in Toledo, Ohio.
And when are you gonna do Atlanta?
I don't know. I have the full tour dates.
Yeah.
I only got from Toledo, Ohio, all the way to like December 23rd.
That's cool. Is that gonna be your first tour?
Nah, this is my second tour, but I'm
Wow,
doing stand up for
congrats.
kids though. And
Oh,
it's like,
nice.
and it's like dinosaurs, and it's like,
Monkey wrench.
So
and
it
it's
has
like,
to be clean.
it has to be super clean, and
Wow.
it has to be about dinosaurs, and yeah, bro.
I feel like that's when I'm freestyling and I'm
There's
like, I
not-
can't say these words. That's my
Hey.
challenge.
No, it's the first time. This is the second time I've done it. The first time I did it, dude, literally a kid. I was on stage. I had 30 minutes. A kid was standing beside the stage, and he just took a shit on the floor.
You never told me
He
that,
just
bro.
took a shit on the floor. Yeah, man.
That's hilarious.
I've had kids. I had a
Damn.
kid one time just tell me to tell a joke. It's like 10-year-old kid and cry. Yeah, man, tell a joke. I just want to be like, oh, kid, if you were fucking a little bit older. But
Give,
yeah,
us,
that's
give us a
it.
good joke right now.
Oh man, you gotta.
Don't make any of our listeners.
You
shit
gotta
themselves.
pay for this, boy. No.
Hey, get your tickets, Rondo.
Y'all make sure y'all come see Jurassic World. But nah, man, that's about it. That's all I got coming
That's
up.
what's
man.
up, man. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on this.
Nah, man,
Like,
thank you for
it's-
having us.
Appreciate
Man,
it,
this has
man.
really been awesome.
Nah, I
It's
appreciate you
cool.
guys.
It's super cool for me, and I know for you too.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
we've been seeing your logo forever. You guys like, and especially now that we're in the content creation space, I know you guys got a lot of knowledge in this space. I know you guys are doing big things, and anything we can do to be a part of that, and we'll certainly let you guys know of anything. But you
Let's
know,
collaborate.
absolutely one of us is gonna have to get a clout house soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
100%,
undeniable.
100%, bro.
Yeah,
do it.
like shit, the top of Icon or something.
Bruh,
Yeah.
something, bruh, for real.
Man,
Nah, let's
that
do
would be
it,
cool.
man.
But no, thank you guys again so much. This has really been awesome, and I'm excited to see where we go. We'll have you guys on again sometime.
For sure.
City of Atlanta's got a lot of things popping, and anyone who's listening to this who's from Atlanta, shout out Atlanta. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Clint.
You know who we are, HSTL UP, at HSTL UP, www.hstlup.com.
go.
Like, share, tell your friends, tell your family. Subscribe, hit the bell because subscriptions don't help,
Just
but
do
the
it.
bell does.
Just fucking do
Hey.
it. Please.
Subscriptions
Hit the
do
bell.
help. Subscriptions do help, but the bell helps a lot.
The fucking bell.
Yeah, let's just work these algorithms. Thank you guys so much. You know who we are. Until next time, hustle up.
Hustle
All
up.
right, peace.
Bang.